but he's a superstar.
Time to visit the saga of Ben Simmons. He's now been ruled out tonight, dealing with back soreness. For a while, I thought he was ruled in. Now he's out. Broussard, how would you describe Ben Simmons' time with the Nets?
Oh, gosh. Let's say horrible, exasperating, detrimental. All of this. Like, I hate to question a guy when he says he's injured. I really do. But I'm just going to be honest. I don't believe that he's hurt. I think his feelings are hurt.
Wow.
I think his psyche is hurt. I think he's terrified to go out there and play professional basketball. I think he's afraid to take a jump shot in a real game. I think he's afraid to take a free throw in a real game. And he might even be afraid to shoot a layup in a real game after what happened last year against Atlanta. So this is a bad situation. And here's why I said detrimental. Because I think now, if it already hasn't happened, he is losing his new teammates. Like, it's human nature to look at this dude and be like, come on, bruh. I mean, you can't give us anything? It's just, look, I remember seeing Larry Bird and his Ben Simmons coach, Steve Nash, lay flat on their backs on the sidelines when they were out of the game because they were playing through back pain, right? And when they came out, they'd lay on the ground and have a heat pack or whatever it was on their back just so they could play. And you can't try to give us anything? And people said it. If he was able to play tonight, Nick, he probably could have played Saturday if it was just about the back. But I think it's about the mind. And look, I know, we all know now, James Harden is not what he used to be. But had they not made this trade, they'd be in better position. I don't know if they'd beat the Celtics.
Well,
but Harden, KD, and Kyrie are certainly better than Harden and KD without Simmons.
Listen, I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. I think this has been handled terribly. He wilds. He's now going to miss an entire year of basketball without ever, I'm not saying he's not hurt, but we never saw him suffer an injury. The last game he played in, he was healthy. And now he has missed a full year without suffering an injury in a game or in practice. I'm not saying the back thing is... Now, there's a lot of reasons people's backs, they have legitimate back pain. And one of them is psychological. You've all heard about that. That, psychological either distress or stress can cause stomach or back problems. So that would be real back pain, even if it's not from, a traditional basketball sense. So I don't think he's faking it. I do think it is, Wilds, the most bizarre year we have seen from a Max player ever. And I think the fact that it kept being leaked, he was going to play, and then Nash kept clearly thinking he wasn't going to play, and then he doesn't play, the whole thing's a mess. But Brew's last point, and this is where I do want to give Brew credit and you credit, because there were a lot of people that do what we do for a living, that right after the Harden-Simmons trade declared it a loss for Philly and a massive win for Brooklyn. This is one of the most, at this moment, lopsided trades ever. And Harden hasn't even been that good. Yeah. Harden hasn't been superstar James Harden. And this is one of the most lopsided trades we've seen, Wilds. This is a disaster for Brooklyn. A true disaster.
I'm kind of hoping that the Nets win tonight so I can see if Ben would play Game 5. I don't know if he would, but I think it would be interesting. Ooh. So I don't know. Friedel said it was on hour to hour. If it could win, maybe it could go Game 5. It's medals time.
Hour to hour.
Oh, God.
That's what Friedel reports. Friedel reported that Nash said he's hour to hour. It's insane. Our guy, Jose Alvarado, got this steal with his classic patented sneaky in the corner move. Wasn't enough to win a medal because it was just one move. Nick, who did it better?
And by the way, how about these young Pelicans? Herb Jones, Kevin O'Connor's guy, coming up big, but he didn't get a medal either. You know who did? Jimmy Butler. Oh, playoff Jimmy. They're the number 1 seed for a reason, America. Nobody cares. Nobody talks about him. But Jimmy Butler, all of a sudden, these scoring explosions in the biggest games. Almost like he's a 16-game guy, not an 82-game guy. He gets a bronze. Credit where credit is due. Nikola Jokic gets a silver medal. He's moving up the medal stand these last 2 games, a bronze and a silver for the Joker. 37, 8, and 6 for the Joker. Staves off elimination. Avoids the humiliation of being the first MVP ever swept in the round 1. Instead, it'll be gentleman swept. And a gold. Jason Tatum. 39 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals, lockdown defense, doing everything one needs to do to be considered a superstar in this league. Just do it a little bit longer, Jason. Finish them off tonight. You know what? You sweep the Nets, I think you're in. So I think you're in. And you know what? Even if you don't sweep the Nets, I think you're probably getting in. Jason Tatum, gold medal. Wow. He's been arguably the performer of the playoffs so far.
I think so. MVP early, first round MVP. KD, Kyrie. We only do one story, we do 2. Celtics Nets Game 3, 39 for Jason Tatum. Is he in club superstar? People are talking. We're going to go to our guy Keith Clark, loyal viewer. Jason Tatum isn't only in club superstar, he's in the VIP section at a table, and he brought a friend, Jaylen Brown, downing shots. Timeout. Don't know if you mean shots like in like a Patron or I don't know, Keith, but either way. He took over KD and Kyrie's table, left them looking like B-list celebrities, talking about the past and drinking seltzer water. Ouch, shot at old guys drinking water at the club. Listen, we have to hydrate. So, Nick, response to Keith, as Jason Tatum entered club superstar. We know you're at the door with the list.
Yeah. All right, a number of things here. First of all, Wilds, and you've done an excellent job filling in for Jenna Wolf, so I hate to do this to you, but there's a bad fact error there. Everybody knows club superstar, there's no Patron. It's Lobos only. That's obviously been the case. I know you've never been invited, but I would have assumed you knew that. I mean, it's not Lobos isn't the only liquor there, but it's of course the only tequila available. You think we're gonna have Patron? Patron is down the street. You know what I mean? At Club Almost Superstar with Paul George and others. Okay, so you know that. That's first.
Sorry.
Second of all, I want to say this before we get to Club Superstar. Jason Tatum has been utterly brilliant. Every single check mark you need to become a superstar, he's either done or is in the process of doing. He is I know he scored 39. Brew, the 39 isn't shocking. This level of defense, even the biggest Jason Tatum fans did not see this two-way performance coming, okay? So, and where I definitively have adjusted on Tatum is when we last talked about this, I had him in a tier along with Donovan, Trey, I think initially Zion, when I thought Zion, was going to play basketball, Jimmy Butler. He's better than all those guys. You were right about that. Now, Jimmy's played really well himself, and Jimmy deserves massive credit, but he's better than those guys. The question is he good enough to get into Club Superstar? Everybody knows, Fire Marshal has said that there's only 12-person maximum, and we like to keep it to 8 to 10. Now, luckily for Tatum, 2 guys in the last year have been kicked out. James Harden has been evicted. He was evicted a year ago, and Anthony Davis has been kicked out. So there is at least 1 spot available, maybe 2. Devin Booker was ahead of Jason Tatum in the line for Club Superstar as of 96 hours ago. Has Jason Tatum done enough with Booker shelved to not only jump him but to get in? I need a tiny 100%. Bit more. But at this point, the bouncer is looking at the list and calling the promoter over and saying, I think we got to let him in. I think we got to let him in. Now, let's finish the job tonight. Let's make sure, but I think Jason Tatum, I think we are going to be on this show very soon. and Jason Tatum's going to be in. Now, do we have to kick anybody else out? I don't know. Ja, oh boy, Ja. There's a little meeting in the back, Brew, where they're like, did we let him in too early? Is his ID real? So there's a question there. But Tatum is banging the door down for club superstar, banging it down.
Okay, very good points, Nick. Look, you brought up my past with the Clippers and all that. Bring up my past with Jason Tatum. Because I've been saying here for years, en route to becoming a superstar. And look, he is outplaying Kevin Durant decisively. Like, it's not even close.
That's correct.
And you said it, Nick. It's not just the offense. He's scored more, assisted more. He's been better than Durant offensively through the 3 quarters and through the 4th quarter in the clutch. But like you said,